So I flipped a Yui because I saw 4 coppers. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. Cuatro pigos right here. Right here? Yep, right here. Cuatro pigos. Cuatro pigos. What's the event, man? What's going on?
Not much. How are you?
Anything good? Good to see you again. Haven't seen you in a while.
I know, buddy.
How's life?
It's been good.
Yeah?
It's been good. What about you?
Still a copper, huh?
Trying to, man. How's everything?
You didn't want to quit and do something else?
You know what, man? As a little kid, I wanted to become an architect, but then it's just hard, man. It's such one of those like careers, and it's difficult, man. It's really
I mean, we met before.
I met you like 3 times already. I met you at Charleston and Decatur, by the Bank of America, and then I met you at there's another gas station on Charleston in the Upland area.
That's funny. What's your name?
Jonathan,
Chille.
nice to meet you.
I don't really like cops, so
I know, man.
It's if you I don't look at you and hate your guts as a man. I can't look at another person and be like, I hate that fucker just because he's.
You just like the profession and what it's.
I hate it. I hate every policy you have. I hate that you do it. I hate that if one of these other guys gets me in a headlock, you'll help them without going, wait a minute, he was just talking to me.
But you know what? I seen a video of one of yours that you said if one of us were in a fight, you'd come and help us.
I would.
And I respect that.
We have to have law and order. We cannot fall to lawlessness. If someone was on top of you hurting you, I would stop them in 2 seconds flat.
And likewise, I 100%, man. If somebody was beating you, I'd like to believe that.
You bet. We cannot be a lawless society.
Yeah.
We must maintain law and order.
Absolutely.
Even when you guys arrest me or cops arrest me, I have to just let you guys take me. Do I want to fight back? Sure, I want to. I could feel my little voice in my head saying, punch him in the teeth.
I get you, man.
But I can't do that. I'm not going to go to violence. I'm going to become the governor, and I'm going to change the policies from the top down.
Yeah.
I'm going to become the governor.
That's good, man.
Maybe Nevada, maybe Alaska, maybe Ohio, maybe California. Depends on how bad Newsom F's it up over there.
Yeah.
If he keeps on effing it up the way he is,
Yeah.
Jonathan, then I may run in California. I got a year here before I decide because I checked all the different places I want to run, how long I got to be there, and I'm getting more and more and more known across the country. People come to it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing when
You know, it is, man. And like, so I think your videos show, I mean, sides of everything, man. You know, and it's really eye-opening to a lot of people who don't see everything of what's going on, man.
it's not that you're born evil, Jonathan. It's that you joined an evil Death Star.
So I'll tell you. So when I was a little kid, man, I'm Mexican who grew up on the east side. So
I'm Colombian. I grew up in an all-white town.
So all of the culture behind it, obviously, if you're Hispanic or you're, you know, of a different minority, then obviously it's perceived that, hey, law enforcement is bad. You know, that's the culture thing that I grew up with, man. But it's just one of those things that.
Well, because you're not a law enforcer.
I don't see it that way, man. It's one of those things that, like, as a little kid, man, my bike was stolen as a little kid, dude, and
Mine too.
I still remember a cop coming and buying me a new bike, dude, and that's one thing that stuck with me.
Really?
It's
You became a copper because someone bought you a bike?
Not because of that, but it was one of those childhood memories of a positive interaction with the cop, man. It was one of those things that always stuck to me, man. When I was crushed as a little kid by somebody taking my bike, this complete stranger bought a bike out of his own money and brought it to me, man. And that was a huge moment for me, dude.
The good nature of another person won you over?
I would say that's one of those things as a little kid. That's big, man. As a little kid, somebody steals your bike, how are you going to feel? Like, somebody stole my bike, you know?
But now square this with me, okay?
Yeah.
So that I can understand, you know? So say, for example, right now, you pulled me over, ran my license, and I had an unpaid ticket, right? And I said, hey, Jonathan, listen, I didn't know I had an unpaid ticket, man. Listen, I'll go down tomorrow and I'll pay it. Your job is now to arrest me and put me in torture cuffs, right? And that's,
So,
how can you square that you joined this, and then at the same time, you know I'm a journalist, you know I'm nonviolent, you know I wouldn't cheat, steal.
The way a lot of my friends who are cops, you have the letter of the law and you have the spirit of the law. If it's somebody who, hey man, how do I say it? If it's a speeding ticket, man, we have discretion to do a lot of stuff.
Right, but not the ticket. Say you got a warrant. Say you didn't pay a ticket, and then you got a warrant.
Personally, will I arrest you for a traffic violation? I
Right.
wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
No, there's a lot more other bad stuff going around.
You don't arrest people for traffic violations?
Were you asking me a question? Well,
That's true. I just want to make sure I'm hearing this right, because this is people.
I know you're recording.
People don't hear that.
I simply wouldn't, man. I would go more after the people who are actually victims of crime.
The criminals
Exactly.
who steal people's bikes.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, man.
Who steal it?
If somebody's a victim of a crime, man, if a guy's beating up on a female, man, it's like I like to believe that I would be that voice for that victim, that the lady who got beat up, or that kid who got beat up, raped, molested, or one of those things, man. That's more what
and that's what we want you guys to
that's
investigate.
more what I'm after, man. It's I get it, man. We're all humans. We messed up. Traffic. If you're running late, everybody speeds, man. It's human nature, man. We're not perfect, dude.
Right.
So I'm more after, if I'm gonna arrest somebody over a traffic violation, it's gonna be either your DUI or you killed somebody with a vehicle.
Right.
But if it's hey man, you had an insurance lapse, you got an insurance lapse. Stuff happens, dude. I get it.
My $1 million deal, right? And it's actually a $1 billion deal.
Yeah.
Is the torture cuffs.
I get it, man.
Why can't we get rid of these? It's 2024. Dude, if you told me, Chille, you got to come with me.
Chille, why don't you do a ride along with us?
Are you guys going to kill me?
No, come on, man. It's at the end of the day, man, we're both grown-ass men. I put my pants on the same way you do every single morning, dude. I have a family, you have a family, and I'm all about it, dude. I'm all about being that voice for people who either can't stand up for themselves or afraid for what it is, man. That's how I feel. That's how I see it.
Jonathan, let me tell you the reason I haven't done ride-alongs, and I've signed up in a couple states and they didn't accept me, but the problem, so from the very beginning, if we're ride-along, I got to get in this car right here, and if I open the back seat, there's a cage in there.
Yep.
And so, to me, if you treat people like animals, they will behave like animals.
Yeah.
So if you lock someone in a cage and strap them behind the back and put a seatbelt over them, that person's losing their mind.
I get it, man.
And to me personally, to see that happen, like up close and in real life, and hear them crying about how hard the handcuffs hurt and that they needed to go to work tomorrow and you're gonna get me fired from my job, and then they do get fired, for me to see that and witness that, it'd be hard for me to be kind. I open your back door and I see that tiny little claustrophobic cage back there.
Yeah.
And for me, it's just so inhuman. Jonathan, I'm telling you, bro, as much as I hate cops, I would not hurt you, man.
No, and
I would not hurt you.
I'd like to believe the majority of the people out there are not trying to hurt us, man.
The majority of us do not want to fight the cops. I do not want to fight you at all, dude. I want to sit down and have a conversation about getting rid of the torture cuffs. But the problem is the torture cuff company has a $1 billion contract.
And I'm neither in that position nor that place.
Right, but you could be.
Oh, that'd be awesome, yeah, but I'm not.
There's that sergeant, what's his name, the real popular copper. He's like Mexican, you know what I'm talking about? He's on Instagram and YouTube, and you know what I'm talking about? I want to say Sergeant Williams, or I forget his name, but anyway, he speaks out against the bad cops. Why can't one of you guys start saying, you know what? I don't like this guy. You say, I hate Chille. He tells cops are demons. I say what I feel. But you know what? He is right about the torture cuffs. We could detain people with straps. It would be easier to detain someone just by wrapping a strap around them and tying it than trying to force their arms behind their back.
So, like, okay, for that, strapping them with a rope, that sounds more like animals, man. Is that what you're
Well,
referring to?
I mean, so just imagine, bro, I'm 210, I train every day. I've been training since I was 7 years old.
Yeah.
If you try to force my arms behind my back and I don't want to let you, the optics of that, get on the ground, 2 or 3 cops, tasing me, punching me, the policy of when 2 guys or one person's engaged with another person, the other one can't use strikes as pain compliance, that would go a long way.
No, I get you, Chille. But I gotta go, bro. My radio's blowing up. Hey, man, I appreciate the conversation, man.
God bless you, dude.
All right, brother, take it easy.
Stay safe tonight, all right,
Likewise,
Jonathan?
man.
Thanks for your time.
No worries. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Later, man. Where's the party? Is this where it is?
Yeah, sure.
Are we
if you want it
partying?
to be.
Yeah.
If you want it to be.
I mean, I try to, when you guys are not, oh, you got to go away, honey? I'm so sorry. I try to come up and talk to you guys and talk to you like human beings when there's no action going on.
Right on.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
I hate cops, but I don't hate you as a human. You know what I mean? I think, you know, you have blood and tears and sweat and you're a person, but I always just want to talk to you guys, man. My name's Chille. What's your name?
Officer Alves.
Alves? Nice to meet you, Alves. My pleasure. So, my big thing with y'all is that none of y'all will take a stand against the torture cuffs, because torture cuffs are always torture. If you put me in torture cuffs, I'm being tortured immediately, no matter how soft you put them on.
What do you mean by torture cuffs?
When you put me, if you put those behind my back, my shoulders don't go like that.
Like handcuffs, you mean?
Yeah, they're
gotcha. You call them torture cuffs?
The whole internet does.
Okay.
And I just wonder if someone in your department will sooner or later take a stand and say, we could strap people in the front with a belt, and then they're just as secure.
I mean, that's above my pay grade, man. You got to talk to the bigwigs who set our policies, you know what I mean?
You know how many times I hear that? Who's the bigwigs then? Who are the bigwigs that your policy? Is it the chief or the governor?
The sheriff.
The sheriff sets the
sheriff
policy?
or one of his, the assistant sheriff.
So the sheriff sets the I'll call them what you call them, handcuff policy?
Mm-hmm.
And Alvarez, if on your time off we put you in those cuffs for 20 minutes, you might have a different perspective. You might change your perspective. They're really bad, man.
Yep.
Listen, I mean, I know a lot of LVMPD cops. I'm suing you guys for $5 million right now.
Mm-hmm.
Court case from 2 weeks. So I just need one of y'all to start to say, I don't agree with these. We could do this another way. In 2024, with cameras and new technology, we could strap people up a lot easier than throwing them on the ground and putting their arms behind their back. I just want one of y'all to start saying it.
Well, like I said, man, you got to talk to the bigwigs about that, man. Get people together, and if that's something you guys feel passionately about, then
the whole internet.
that's something you got to lobby for. You know what I'm saying?
Haven't you seen the internet torture cuffs? How many people say torture cuffs?
I'll be honest, I've never heard that term.
You've never heard torture cuffs? I know you got to go.
Hang on one second. No, it's okay. No, we're sorry. All right, cool. I'll meet you next time. All right.
If one of y'all spoke up about the handcuffs and changing a man, I tell you, I would grow a lot of respect for you guys.
Listen, dude, just lobby, get your people together, and try to affect change. And
be safe tonight, man. I don't wish you harm. Good luck.
All right, appreciate you, man.
Take
Thanks.
care. It's just real simple, As long as we continue to have the torture cuffs, as long as we continue to allow cops to torture people, we're never going to be free. If you commit a crime, and before you're sentenced for the crime or tried for the crime, if you're put in torture cuffs and taken to a dungeon, that's not freedom. That's not due process. And for some reason, well, because of slavery, we've lost our way. We now allow cops to put us in torture cuffs just so they feel safe. And that's my biggest problem with the policing industry at this exact moment. Well, the dungeon system as well. Because when someone goes to the dungeon for 5 years, they get out. Who are they worse for? You and me and society. They're not worse for the elites. They want us fighting amongst each other. They want your family member 5 years behind. You can't catch up. And your life's ruined for 5 years in prison. So, listen, I think cops are demons and they're evil. And when they're in their human form just sitting around here, I want to try to find the good in them and hope that they can be touched by God and really try to make change within the police department. And that's what I'm optimistic for. I don't think it'll happen. I think I have to become governor, and I think I have to win the governorship and then tell the sheriff the new policy. And if he doesn't like it, then we go to war politically. Okay? All right. I'm going to get the flock out of here. Thanks for coming. I'll see you guys on the next one. Later, Gators.